What's going on, Betting Edge Wizards? Well, as we head into week 3 of the NFL, I want to talk to you about a story that started out a little comical, kind of cutesy, but now is becoming quite a big deal. The replacement referees. Now, first off, I got to say something personally. I understand that when there are negotiations going on, whether it's with players in the league, referees in the league, agents in the league, whoever it is, there's going to be different stories on different sides, and they're going to have to come together and make an agreement. But with the NFL's success over the last several decades, the billions of dollars that are made each and every year, how on God's green earth can the NFL and its longtime officials not come to an agreement when the NFL consistently talks about integrity of the game, protecting the players, and now they're going to throw out D3 and NAIA refs to do the job of officials that have been there for several years. It's definitely causing a problem, and the fact that they haven't gotten a deal done now makes me think the NFL gives us a lot of lip service when it comes to parity, and it comes to fairness, and it comes to player safety. That being said, let's take a break from the seriousness and have a little fun here. The great guys at SportsBettingOnline.ag, led by CEO Dave Johnson, have put another twist on what's going on with the replacement referees. They've released several props, which I'll get to in just a minute, related to the replacement referees and how they're affecting today's NFL. First one I want to talk about is the average time of all Week 3 NFL games. This is based on the criticism that NFL games are running ability to make quick calls. Specifically, the first quarter of Monday Night Football between Denver and Atlanta went over an hour. The prop is over 3 hours, 11 minutes, under 3 hours, 11 minutes, minus 110. I will give you my picks on each and every one of these props at the end of the show. Let's get to the rest of these. This prop is based on criticism that the replacement refs are calling more penalties on away teams as a result of the crowd being rowdy and swaying the officials. Home team penalties in Week 3, minus 19.5. Away team, plus 19.5. These next 3 props are based on the fact that the replacement refs are calling a lot more of these specific penalties than normal. Defensive pass interference, over under 17.5, minus 110. Offensive holding, over or under 31.5, minus 110. Personal fouls, over under 5.5, minus 110. And now these last 3 props are based on the fact that the replacement refs are calling a lot less of these penalties than normal. Total number of offensive pass interference calls in Week 3, over under 7.5, minus 110. Total number of illegal contact calls in Week 3, over under 7.5, minus 110. And total number of unnecessary roughness calls in Week 3, over under 20.5. Now, I already got my picks for you. This is a very interesting story, very interesting props, as always from the great guys at SportsBettingOnline.ag. I think there's some very good value in these. I love the over 3 hours, 11 minutes. You know these games are going to be a lot longer as these replacement refs continue to have issues making calls. As far as the home and away team penalties go, I think the refs are going to continue to call more penalties on the away teams, but not more than 20 this week. So I like the away team plus 19.5. Now, these are really interesting ones. Defensive pass interference, I'm going to go on the under, even though they're calling more of those than usual. I think there's not going to be more than 17.5 in Week 3. Offensive holding, like the under 31.5. And personal fouls, I believe there's going to be a lot called this week, a lot of testy matchups this week. Over under 5.5, I like the over. And then total number of offensive pass interference calls in Week 3, I like the under 7.5. These are rarely called. I think the referees are going to continue to look at these and not call them unless it's really, really blatantly obvious. Illegal contact, I like the over 7.5. And then total number of unnecessary roughness calls in Week 3, love the under 20.5. You got to think that the National Football League, the most powerful sports league in the country and one of the most powerful in the world, will find a way to get the officials back on the field like today. It's absurd it's gone on this long. I know the sides are apart as far as money and different benefits that the referees want, but I'll tell you right now, it's a huge drop-off. It's affecting football. You know it's only a matter of time. There's already been some questionable calls that have affected games in a way, but you know that there's going to be one that ruins a game or loses a game or wins a game for a team that's completely out of control. And when that happens, it's only going to get worse from there. Check out SportsBettingOnline.ag for all of these props and all your action all season long for the Betting Edge. It's always a pleasure. I'm Dan the Man. Believe in the dream. And don't forget to sign up for InSpin.com's Insider Now. Get all the 2-star free plays all year long. Absolutely no charge whatsoever. Go to InSpin.com right now.